Ammalu,
Hi, Krishna.
you hold this chocolate. It's for something important. Don't tell I have said this. Today evening from 4 to 45 till 5 to 45, you have blocked Hari. Okay? And please
Okay,
don't ask
okay.
anything. It's all
Okay.
4K. Okay?
Okay, done. Good evening, Hari. I'm
Yes.
stuck with crosswords since 2 days. Can you help me, Hari?
No, not now. You go after some time.
Please, Hari, you had told me you will be free after 5 p.m. Aye, what is this dress, Hari?
What is wrong with my dress? It is for me. It is very comfortable for me to walk.
Okay, okay. Don't say any excuse. Come, please.
No. You go.
Where is Come here.
Yes, let me tell you something.
Yeah, what is that you want to tell? You were telling that you want to say something and till now you didn't say anything.
Did not come right? He did not come right? He never keep to his word. Don't expect him today. I told, now I will tell. See, what I am going to tell is that I told you to meet me. That is simple thing. What I am going to reason behind for this, for me, can I have a drink to something? Something to drink?
Now you can drink.
Okay.
Okay, now continue.
Okay. Our case and the place which support as to solve this case of place where river flowing nice and cool breeze, river flowing.
Kinna, one super English movie is going on. You take Amalu to that movie, no? That movie, no, super movie. You just take her to the movie. See, after eating chocolate, she has become very weak. I don't know.
Which chocolate? Who chocolate?
I don't know. Some chocolate she ate, and she was eating so much of chocolates, and now she's very tired of eating chocolate. And she told she want to watch a movie.
Okay.
Please take her.
Okay. Mira, now I will come now. Mira, I will come now. Okay.
What was he telling you, Mira?
Nothing. He was just telling about this nature and everything.
Yeah. In college also, he was like that. You know what? He used to by heart nature-related poems, okay? And whenever he sees someone, he will just pour it out. And you know what? That is his main hobby. What to do? He is my friend, so I am bearing all these things. He doesn't know anything. He only knows to by heart things, and he will just pour it out like that.
Oh, you want to tell me something, but you didn't tell.
Yes. Yes. I told, I told I had told I want to tell you something. Yes. But before that, can I get a glass of water, please?
Sure. Okay, now you continue.
Okay. You know what? Now, after seeing you, now I understood something. You know what? There is a poet sleeping inside me. If you want to hear, can I sing few lines of my poem? I only wrote myself, not like him. Kinna, he doesn't know anything. I told you, he keeps by hearting everything, and he just, me, I'm not like that. I'm a very good poet, So I will sing a few lines for you, okay?
Okay. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm going now.
Actually, is Kinna.
Yeah.
She's asking what we like. She's asking something.
You told no, you have to tell something. Both were saying that they have to tell something, but none of them are opening their mouth.
That one. Okay, I will tell later. Kinna, what you wanted to tell her? Kinna, what you wanted to tell her?
No, later I will tell.
Okay, then.
Okay, then I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Don't show your real face, aren't you? Are ashamed of yourself. Came here to show off.
What? Why should I get ashamed of myself? I'm not ashamed. I love Meera. So what?
For what? Meera also have to agree. What if she loves me?
See, this is all fate, all these years, I never thought of getting married. But, after seeing her, that thought came in. What does that mean? See, all these years I didn't get married. What? Me? Me? For me?
He thinks that he is big Kamadevan. No gap teeth, gummy smile, hollow nose, the elephant can go inside it. Triangle, triangle walk. See which girl is going to come for you.
Look at your pumpkin face, flat, ugly nose, and Amavadam pidicha polulla shoulder. And seeing all these things, ladies will come in the flight, from Egypt and to get you married. And you know what, Kinna? At least just cover your face. At least some ladies could look at your face.
No need to make fun of me. How many girls are waiting for you? If I call them, they will come and dance for me. Okay. Ladies, are you ready? Little mermaids, show him your talents.
Okay. Let me see who is dancing for you and who wants to see you. Little Mermaids?
Meryl ma'am? Yes. Regina is playing the music.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
We are mermaids, little mermaids signing in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rock and roll. Are you ready? Show him your talent.
Okay, okay, let me see.
Come on.
Hari, Krishna, they are my neighbors. Here come the lavender.
Lavender, come on.
Yeah, 1 second.
See the lavender group signing in the class.
Thank you.
Now let's find out who is the better dancer. Hari Krishnans, get ready. Ammalu.
Yes. Yes, Amalu also. Amalu. Whatever happens, Meera is mine. I will
No,
not
no,
give her.
no. Meera is mine. I love Meera.
No, I love Meera. She is mine. Whatever happens,
No, no. I
I will
love
not
Meera.
leave.
I love Meera. Meera is mine.
No, I love her. I love her. She's mine. Kina, no, she's mine.
What is happening to the Hari Krishnans? What happened, Hari? What happened, Krishna?
Nothing, nothing.
Nothing. We were just talking, you know, we are friends, you know, so we were just friendly talk.
Anyway, I want to tell you something.
Yes, Meera, yes, come on, tell.
Tell. Let me first.
Tell me first.
Next week is my marriage. And
What?
yeah, I'm going to get married next week. It's none other than our Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh,
You know,
Shah Rukh Khan.
yeah.
But that he doesn't look that good, no? His nose is not like my nose, and he looks aged also, not like me. I am, always.
Love, like in our shooting location, he proposed me, and we were planning for this marriage 6 months before. But he was very busy for this whole shooting and all, and it didn't happen. But I know you both are so happy because you both are my best friends and inviting you for my wedding. Okay, please come, and please Ammalu also have to come with Hari Krishnans. Okay, and I'll be with you for.
Yeah, you're our friend only. Kinna, we were just telling, no, she's our best friend.
Yes.
Yeah. But Meera, I have to tell you something. Now I understood what is.
Like Meera.
Yeah, love is blind. Maybe that is why
He
you
will never
like him.
forget you.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
love.
always remind to be a good friend. Okay.
Yeah. We will never forget you.
Caring, he's very caring and very.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, all my NCDC friends to come for my wedding. Okay. Yeah, this is my invitation. You all have to come this time. Bindu ma'am, please don't say any excuses. You have to come to Mumbai. It's going to be in Mumbai Taj Mahal Hotel. Please do come. And all my friends, please come.
Oh,
And
yes, definitely. We will take everyone along with us.
yeah, please. I will be expecting everyone there. And
Yes.
Hari Krishnas will be having a special place.
Yes, yes, yes. Otherwise, also we were also having a special place for you in our heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
My SRKs will be waiting to show you. Every time I call him and I tell about you people.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh. But I don't know why. Okay, I see. We both are also looking handsome, right?
Yeah, you both are looking very handsome.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, thank you. Okay,
Get a beautiful girl.
okay. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, we are Cinderella signing in.
Wow, super, super, super. Very nice, very nice. All the that teams signing in was very nice, and especially our anchoring team, no? Yeah, yeah. One thing I had to tell the Kidnan's dance also, like really like Mohanlal. It was wonderful. All the performances, very nice. It is okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful, awesome. Yeah, yeah. Very good, very good.
Wedding card also.
Eh?
Wedding card.
Wedding cards. It was really outstanding. Really worked for that. Yes.
PG ma'am.
Ah, nice, nice,
Super
nice.
look, ma'am.
Very nice it is. Okay, okay. Yeah, continue your class.
Aradhana ma'am, appreciation song.
Yes, all of you, we have an appreciation song for you. तुम पास आए क्यों मुस्कुराए तुम मैंने जाने क्या सपने दिखाए तुम पास आए क्यों मुस्कुराए तुमने न जाने क्या सपने दिखाए अब तो मेरा दिल जागी न सोता है क्या करूँ भाई कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ भाई कुछ कुछ होता है सुपर सुपर well done you all are awesome keep it up dears keep it up dears very good dear super super
Super.
Super.
Next, we can go for a game show. Okay, please wait. Okay. You can guess the name of the food from the emojis shown. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You can start.
That hot dog, Meryl ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Correct. Next question.
Milkshake.
Milkshake. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Correct. Next. Anyone?
Fruit punch. Fruit punch.
Yes, ma'am.
Fruit punch.
Fruit punch.
Punch.
Yes.
Ah, yeah, fruit punch. Yeah.
Fruit punch.
It's on.
French fries.
French fries.
French fries.
That's easy, no? Anyone?
Banana.
Banana breaky.
Yes, Ramsey, ma'am.
Banana breaky. Oh, banana split.
Then split. Yeah.
Cotton candy.
Yeah. Cotton candy.
Ah, who is telling?
ma'am.
Who is whispering there?
Dimsy, ma'am.
Popcorn.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Cheesecake.
Pancake.
Okay, okay.
Onion ring.
Onion ring.
Jelly bear.
Should be.
Gummy bear. Gummy bear.
Okay, thank you all. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
Yes.
Super, ma'am. Super. Super, super.
One appreciation song for them. Okay. Kannana kanne, en meedu saayava, പുന്നാന നെഞ്ചേ പൊന്നാന കയ്യ പൂ പോലെ നീ വാ 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 സൂപ്പർ സൂപ്പർ ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ഗെയിം സൂപ്പർ 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 വാ വാ വണ്ടർഫുൾ. Thank you.
Super, ma'am.
Super, super. Okay, I think we can move to the learning activity, right?
Okay, ma'am. We can move. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we have two activities. One is guest class, and another one is learning activity as per student's choice. So first we are going to do this learning activity as per student's choice. The topic is child psychology, prenatal development. So we have prepared some questions for you. So we are asking each questions for each groups. Then you can answer the questions. Okay. So first question, what are the factors determining the development of a person? This question is to Little Mermaids group. Can anyone answer? Hello?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Hello? Can you please repeat the question?
Okay, okay. What
I'm
are the
noisy.
factors? Okay. What are
Hello?
the factors? Okay, I'm repeating the question. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
What are the factors determining the development of a person? Okay, this is
Hereditary and environment?
Yes, yes, correct. Correct, correct.
Thank you.
Sorry, my mic had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next question. A person development is completely depending upon. These are the options. Option A, hereditary. Option B, environment. Option C, both A and B. And option D is personalized matter. Cinderella group, can you answer this question?
Personalized matter.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. Super, super. And third question, how many stages are there in child development? Option A, 3. Option B, 4. Option C, 5. Lavender group?
4.
4.
Correct, correct.
4.
Super, ma'am. Super. Yes, yes, 4. Okay, over to Tinsy, ma'am.
Okay. Next question is to Cinderella, group Cinderella. Okay. In which stage man occurs more development? Options are infancy, early childhood, prenatal, and later childhood.
Prenatal.
Okay, very good. Next question for Lavender. All the emotions of the mother spreads to the child through blood, plasma, and placenta.
Placenta, ma'am.
Okay. Last question is for Little Mermaid. Which stage the child shows a speedy growth of body and other developments? Prenatal, infancy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Archana ma'am,
Okay, ma'am.
you can ask the other questions.
Okay. What we called from 6 to 12 years of age. My question, Little Mermaid groups.
Later childhood?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, correct. Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Ma'am, please continue, ma'am.
Okay. One more question. In which stage the personality development occurs in child? That we already asked. Gopika ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Options are infancy, prenatal, early childhood, and later childhood.
Anybody can answer?
Early childhood, ma'am.
Early childhood.
Yes, yes.
Princey,
Anima.
ma'am.
Yes,
Early childhood.
yes, yes.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay.
And the last question, in which stage the big and small muscles in body develop? Okay. Options, infancy, prenatal, early childhood, and later childhood.
For
Early childhood.
early
Correct. Super, ma'am. Super. Now we are ending up these questions. Okay. Thank you all.
Super. Okay, Gopika ma'am, we can welcome. Okay.
Okay. Bindu, ma'am.
Yes, yes, you can start.
Yes. you can start. Princey, ma'am, you can continue.
So we can start the guest class, right? Bindu ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Gopika ma'am, we can welcome.
Okay.
For the welcome
Thank you,
speech,
Tinsy.
I would like to welcome Gopika ma'am.
Thank you, Tinsy, ma'am. So, good afternoon, all. On behalf of our 46th batch, I heartily welcome our dear faculty, Bindu ma'am, who always with us and gives us moral support and proper guidance. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to this webinar.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Sister Jayashree, who is retired nursing superintendent and counselor. We are very grateful to her for accepting our invitation and becoming a chief guest of today's event. We all are eagerly waiting to attend your valuable class based on prenatal care. Heartily welcome you, dear sister, to this webinar.
Thank you.
I'm also very happy to welcome Niranjana ma'am, Praveena ma'am, who are the faculties of NCDC to this webinar. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Then I would like to welcome each and everyone who are gathered here for attending this webinar. I ensure this webinar will be profitable and fruitful for everyone present here. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
We can go ahead. Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Are you tired?
No, ma'am.
No.
We are
Good.
very energetic. We are
Oh,
eagerly waiting for you, ma'am. You can.
Thank you. Thank you. That itself is an encouraging answer. Okay.
Thank you.
Then, what's the topic today?
Prenatal care, ma'am.
Prenatal care.
Yes.
What is the meaning of prenatal care? Do you know? Pre means
Before, just before.
Before the birth stage.
Before.
pre. The word pre comes before any word means before.
Yes.
Pre, before. Natal. What's the meaning of natal? Birth.
Birth, yeah.
Birth. So prenatal care. Care before birth. Before birth of a child. Now, before a child is born, before we speak about prenatal care, I want to talk to you something about the care to be given before prenatal, prenatal, double prenatal. Before prenatal care, we have to have some other care also. Then comes prenatal care. Now, when a couple, a boy or a girl, decide to get married, they will have a lot of dreams in their mind. They will have a lot of calculations. They will think about their future. They will also think about the children that may be born to them in future. And these should not and does not and it does not happen simply by chance. And what happens after marriage? See, two people who were living maybe far apart from far off places, come together, and then that is the nucleus of a family begins there with their marriage. And once when you are married, when the couple is married, they come together, then they will share their dreams, and the day comes, they will plan to have not just two people living together always, but to have someone else or more than one to be added to their family. That is to enlarge their family by adding a baby or two or three, depending on the choice of parents. So which means this choice needs a lot of care. And this event of a lady, the wife, becoming pregnant, it should not simply happen by chance. It has to be by choice. I suppose you understand by my saying by choice. The couple, both of them, have to decide if they are prepared. First of all, if they are prepared, that is the prenatal care I said. If they are prepared to become parents. So before a mother, before a woman, before a lady becomes pregnant, they already have to decide and prepare for that pregnancy. And how do we prepare? Little while ago, I heard the questions that you were asking to each other and the answers that were coming. Very good, wonderful. So you have to teach others, and maybe there may be some of you among you who may be planning to have a child, or may be planning to have to get married and to settle down, all this. Now, before we plan to have a baby, a child, you have to consider various factors. And as you know, you already know many things. As I see, as I hear, you have already learned many things. And yet, it may be a repetition when I say it. we have to consider various matters. First and foremost of all, okay, before I go on to this particular thing, let me just tell you, I am living in North India, as you know. I am living in Rajasthan at the moment. And as you already know, perhaps I have been to many states in India where I was working. And in some places, like in Bihar, for example, when I was in Bihar, I have seen 8 and 10-year-old babies being married. And the parents have to carry sometimes the bride. And what do they know about marriage? Nothing. And as soon as the first menses happens, this child is sent to the in-laws' house. So let's take, for example, maybe 12, 13, 14 years, at the most 14 years. And do you think they wait? No. By the age of 14 or 15, that little girl becomes pregnant. She has no childhood. Her childhood is finished. And she becomes a mother. Now, children, do you think a girl of 14 years or 15 years is mature enough to become a mother? Is she mentally prepared?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No. Is she mentally prepared?
No, ma'am.
Not at all.
Not at all. And these poor families, what would be their physical health? Very much malnourished, undernourished, unhealthy. Sometimes a 14-year-old girl will look like a 10-year-old girl. So physically they are not at all, even health-wise, they are not prepared to become a mother. And can you imagine that psychological trauma means injury, psychological injury, which will happen to that little girl? She is not mentally, physically, or health-wise prepared, and suddenly being taken away from her parents' house as a young girl and going to another house and engaged in marital life. That poor girl will already have been a victim of very serious psychological disorders. And that's why many little children at birth or after birth die in North India, especially in these states of Bihar and UP and all. Before the age of 15 and 16, they become mothers. And they themselves are in their growing age. And then how can they help a child to be born and to look after? So these are the care which what I spoke about is the prenatal care. So the parents in that care, the parents and society also is involved. It's not only just the boy and girl. So that is the first point that I want to put. Now, excuse me. Now the second point what I want to say, now let's straight away go to a normal marriage of a normal couple. And usually, suppose it's an educated family or like people like you all who are educated, you know what you want and you can decide as to what you want. In such cases, it is absolutely, excuse me, it is absolutely essential that the couple, the to be parents, the parents to be, that is the husband and wife, sit together, plan together mentally and very, very seriously plan whether is it time to have a child, and both with the consent of both have to decide about having a child. So let us take it for granted the couple have decided, and with all positive things, now the mother is old enough, say 2021 at least, and the boy is old enough to be a father. But I said 21 at least, I said. Okay, remember that. Not 21 is not a big criteria, but at least 21 I say. So by that time, they will have grown physically, they will have grown fully. So then this couple, they decide together, to have a child. Now, before even at that time, you have to make sure the health of both is okay and normal. Both are having good health and there is no physical ailments. These have to be made sure, because an unhealthy mother will produce an unhealthy child. A drunkard or a smoker or a man with a lot of evil habits will transmit the genes into the newborn baby. So first and foremost of all, the couple have to be free of all these vices. Vices means bad habits. Finally, they decide to have a baby. So then it has to be a baby who is coming into this world not by chance but by choice. There are children coming by chance. That is dangerous in the sense there are chances for the father or mother to reject the coming of a child. Suppose soon after marriage, a girl becomes pregnant, unplanned pregnancy, suppose. There can be lot of problems with that. They did not have time to enjoy their honeymoon, to enjoy their free life, to go to different places, and suddenly they find the first month itself, the girl becomes pregnant. So this is a critical time where the parents will play a very, very important role. The parents have, especially the mother, will have to prepare the daughter to accept that pregnancy as not by chance but as a gift from God. And by no chance, by no means, a girl should ever think of getting rid of a pregnancy by abortion. My friends, let me tell you one thing. Abortion is just as equal to as taking one of your children who is running about and playing, coming to you, mama, calling and coming, and you take that child and cut the throat of that child and kill that child. Would a mother do that? What do you think?
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
All of you are saying no?
Yes, ma'am. No.
Yes or no?
No.
No. But in abortion, what is happening? Can you answer me that question? In abortion, what happens? What is happening in abortion?
Definitely affects the mom's health, ma'am.
Beg your pardon?
It definitely affects the mom's health, no?
Only, ma'am, the mother's health.
No, ma'am. Actually,
No, ma'am, not
basically,
only
it's
that,
like killing a child.
Yes,
Killing a
Killing
child.
a life.
yeah.
Killing a child,
Allah.
your own child,
Yes,
who
yes.
cannot defend itself,
Yes.
who is not seen by the mother. Mother cannot see. That is the only difference. The child who comes to you calling mama and embraces you and kisses you, that child you can see, and there is the other child crying, mama, don't kill me, I am your child, please save me, don't kill me. That is the cry of an unborn baby preparing for an abortion. Always remember that. We have not created that baby. We have not created a child. It is not in our hand. God is the creator. And since we are not the creators, we have no right whatsoever to take life. Only the giver can have the right to take life, not anybody else. And during this time, especially during pregnancy, beforehand itself you have to be mentally prepared, number one, to have a child. And the second point is, you people, the couple will have to be mentally prepared also to accept the child, no matter whether it is a boy or if it is a girl, equally welcome. You know, thousands and thousands of children, baby girls, are being killed in North India. Sometimes we find newborn babies with their umbilical cord and even the placenta remaining, and the dogs coming and eating them up in the bushes. Because it's a baby girl, they throw the baby away. This is the kind of culture which exists in many of the North Indian states. So when first child, if it is a baby girl, already the mother-in-law and the family will start making a long face, and that causes tension for the mother. And if a second child comes, also girl, and the third one comes, also girl, and the fourth one comes, also girl, then be sure that the mother-in-law will be the ones who will be the first to instigate the son to go and bring another lady. They think that it is the lady's fault that the girls are being born. Is it the lady's ovum which determines the sex of the child? Is it?
No.
What
No, ma'am.
determines the sex of the
Males.
child?
Males.
What do you call that?
Chromosome.
The male sperm.
Sperm.
X or
The
Y,
male,
like.
the male
Sperm,
sperm joins, fertilizes the ovum. The male sperms have got two genes, that is X and Y,
Yes.
whereas the ovum has only X. And if the Y chromosome mixes with the X of the woman, it will be XY, which is a boy. And if it is the X chromosome which meets the ovum, it is XX, that will be a girl. So this is something which you will have to tell many of your people with whom you may come in contact. In Kerala and these places, there is usually this kind of things don't happen. They don't kill the girl child and all. But there may be other states, other people that you know also. But always be ready to explain this matter to them. It is nobody's fault. It is not the fault of the woman. It is the man's sperm which determines the sex of the child. Okay, now this is prenatal care. This also comes in the prenatal care. To be mentally prepared, this is prenatal care, as I told you, double pre it is. So to be prepared, mentally prepared, and prepare the father of the child also. And if possible, if it's an educated family and all, you can also tackle the family members and mentally get them prepared for whatever may be the sex of the child. A child is precious, another human being, and all are there to welcome the coming of that child. So number one, abortion is out of question. Secondly, once you know that the lady is pregnant, be ready to accept whatever may be the sex of the child, accept as your own baby, as their own baby, and not to reject even by thought. Even in our thoughts, if there is that rejection, that will be communicated to the child in the womb. So even during now we come to the already, let's take it for granted, the lady has become pregnant. The moment the ovum and the sperm meets, and when the sperm penetrates into the ovum, that same moment of fertilization, God puts in life into that new creation. A new life begins at that moment. From that moment onwards, if anyone tries in some whatever may be the means to get rid of that little creature that God has created and placed in the womb of the mother, that will be equal to abortion, equal to killing. Therefore, this we have to be we have to be aware of, and this part we have to be mentally prepared. Always accept, no matter what the child's sex will be, whether it is a boy or a girl, it will be my child, and I will gladly accept my child as a gift from God. Now this is not only the mother, but the father also has to be educated in this, has to be mentally prepared. It is very, very, very difficult to convince any of these village people, illiterate people, uneducated people. Very, very difficult, because they don't look anything beyond that. It has to be a boy, that's all. And if the first boy is born, there will be dol, baja, what celebrations, and mithai, and laddu, and everything will be given to relatives and friends, and God knows what all things they do. But if it's a girl, nobody will even know that there is a child born, because girls are hopeless in their eyes. But at the end of time, when a need comes, it will be the girls who will be the support of the family, and support of parents, and support of everyone. So don't underestimate don't disregard the importance of a baby girl. I mean, a female child, I mean. Now, whatever happens during pregnancy to the mother, now let's take a few factors. I won't be able to cover up the whole thing, but it's a few important factors I'm telling you. Suppose if it's a family where there is always fights and all, I don't know, gali galocha, all bad words and calling names, all these kind of things going on in a family, naturally that will affect the mother. The mother's heart will be pained. She may shed tears. All that will affect that child which is in the womb. All that will affect the child in the womb. Suppose a drunkard, a husband is a drunkard, and he comes and she cannot do anything but by force. Suppose if they have marital relationship and she becomes pregnant, and at that time the man was drunk, he was not in his senses fully, that is also going to affect the child's psychology and emotions. Whatever may be the situation, every bit of it, happy events and unhappy events, painful events, joyful events at home, all these things are going to affect the child in the womb. Now, suppose when a mother is, I take it for granted that it's an educated family and children, I mean, people are aware of all this. But then during that time, always it is good to keep some soft music, not big dum-dum, drum, and loud noise is not good for the mother to be exposed during pregnancy. That also affects the child. But soft music, yes. And the books that you read, that will also evoke, I don't know, usually my throat is getting bad. Excuse me, yeah. Sorry, every time I am coughing like loud music, shouting, screaming, exposed to fight, like even fireworks, to be near fireworks and things like that, it is not good for a mother to be close by, because these are going to affect the child in the womb. And reading, suppose, and seeing pictures, cinema or pictures, film, whatever it is, violent films where there's killing and all these things, when you see, without you knowing, you are emotionally taken up. Anger or fear, all these emotions, it will negatively affect the child. Negative emotions very much. Exactly like that, the positive emotions also will give positive feelings to the child, and in the long run, that will be a very emotionally healthy child that the mother will have, the parents will have. And also when you are in the in a room, make sure that the pictures that you keep on the walls and the curtain, the room, everything has to be something very pleasant. The pictures on the walls, when you look, not just cinema stars or that, just looking at that beauty or anything, but something somebody who will give you a lot of positive emotions, which will help you to think positively, and therefore the whole environment has to be something very positive and very helpful and very, very sober. I would say sober. And the dealings with people, the in-laws and those others with whom the mother will come in contact and all, they also have to be very careful not to pain the mother and not to scold unnecessarily. So these are the emotional part of it. I am stopping it there on that. There are other things, you know, that when you read, you will come to know. Then comes the physical growth of the child has to take place. All that comes from the mother. If the mother is healthy, you will have a healthy boy or a girl that God gives. The father and mother both have to be healthy, and then you will have healthy children. And suppose if they are malnourished, they are not fed properly, they are starving, hungry often, then you can expect a child who is unhealthy. Even if there is not very, very good food, but the tiny baby in the womb will draw, like for example, materials for their growth, for example, calcium and other minerals, and for the blood, iron, for the formation of the blood, all these, it will be taken from the mother's body, from mother's blood. So even so, all the more, if the mother is not well fed, that will affect the mother's health also. And slowly, gradually, it is going to affect the child. And the child will be not a healthy child at birth. And also there can be difficulties during childbirth if the mother is not properly fed, not taken care of, not healthy. Then during birth there can be complications. Now, once you come to know, once the lady comes to know that she is pregnant, and the family or her husband accept the fact, and everybody is joyful and happy about it. So then after say 8 weeks or something, or if you are not sure, you can go earlier to confirm the pregnancy, and you can go for medical checkup and necessary investigations to find out if the health of the mother is proper, if the blood test they will do, if there is sufficient hemoglobin and all other factors which are required for the growth of the baby, as well as for the mother after birth, for the mother to care for the child, if they will have enough of health to feed and help the baby to grow. All these things, this timely checkup with the doctors or with the gynecologist in the nearby hospital, some proper, not quacks, not anybody and everybody, but some proper doctors and hospital, go and take prenatal checkups. Prenatal or antenatal also, you say antenatal, ANTE, and the antenatal clinics. There are in the hospitals, they give 1 or 2 days fixed for the antenatal care patients. So see that according to their instructions, time to time, once a month or once some weeks, and whatever the doctors say, follow that and make sure that you follow it and carry out the instructions which is being given to them, given to the mother. And it is always better to have the husband, if possible, to accompany the wife while going to the doctors. And like in foreign countries and all, during delivery, they allow the husband to be with the wife. So that gives a lot of moral boost for the lady who is giving birth. And there they also keep music. So they make this event of childbirth as something very precious, something enjoyable, something to be looked forward to, something to be appreciated, something to be welcomed. So all that will depend on the way how the mother and the family takes this event and looks at it with a positive outlook, with a positive mind and a welcoming heart and a grateful heart. So the moment a child is born, usually what happens is they give the child to the mother if it's a normal delivery. So the mother, whether it's a girl or not, sometimes, I have seen when a girl child comes, the mother turns her face, I don't want. This also has happened. I have seen it. It should never happen with people like you. And also help people to understand that reality. Now, then food factors, psychologically, how you look at it, how you accept it, and the environmental factors in the family, the surroundings, and your own mental health, your own thought, not with fear that you have to look forward to the birth of a child, but something as a blessing which is coming from the hands of God, from the Creator, and something precious for you and your family, someone who will be the gem. And can you imagine, we have heard about so many great people in this world, so many great scientists and great people. Now take for the very recent one, take Dr. Abdul Kalam. What a great personality he was. Now, like that, how many millions of great people who could have been great have been killed with abortion. Have you ever thought of this? This is a reality. How many great people have never been allowed to be born into this world to carry out and fulfill the mission for which God had planned and created them. So in order for the development of a baby, the mother has to take care of her health, mental, physical, psychological, spiritual, all this, and a very conducive environment, something which is very positive environment, conducive to this state of event with mother, when the mother is pregnant, and also relationship with others. Avoid all negative feelings like fear, fright. All these things don't expose yourself to these things. See, all these negative emotions directly will affect the child who is in the womb at that time. It is conveyed to the child, and the child will be, that's why you see, looking at the behavior of a child, sometimes we can make out what the child has been, the father has been, or what was the background in the family and all. That such a child would be very fidgety, won't sit in one place, always restless. All these things, looking at the child, you can find out. So more or less, it is in our hands, with the help of God, to bring out a healthy human being out into the world. And the great privilege that God has given to a mother, it is, we can never ever speak enough of that precious stage which God has given to a woman to be a mother. Who is greater than a mother in this world? Can you tell me? Nobody. Nobody is greater. For us, each one of us, when we look, okay, a wife will say my husband, or the husband will say my wife, all that. They are there for each other. But think of the position of a mother in the life of a child. We can have everything in this world, but we cannot have a mother in this world. They produce everything in this world today, but we cannot have a mother produced. Mother can never be replaced. And in our family, that is my eldest brother's granddaughter. Now she is pregnant. She is full term. Maybe within 2 weeks or so, she will have her second baby. The first child is a boy. And you know what he does? The other day, when they are close to our house, very close. The other day, I just took a walk to the house. That time, the mother and the grandmother, that is my nephew's wife and this child's mother, they were saying, this elder one, who is already told that a child is coming, his sister or brother, somebody is arriving, and he knows that child is in the womb of the mother, and she is full term, the tummy is quite big. So what he does, my niece was saying, he goes, and because since we are Christians, we make the sign of the cross and all. It is not necessary that it has to be, but in his case, what he does, he goes and puts his ear on the mother's tummy to listen if she's saying something. And then he makes the sign of the cross on the mother's abdomen and also on her forehead. And then she says, the next one he does for the baby inside. This is for the baby inside. You know, it's beautiful to see how the family has all together, they have taken this great situation, this great gift that is going to happen now. So also what I wanted to say is, if we have older children before the next one comes, in the prenatal care, this also is involved to prepare the child for the arrival of a newcomer. So very often what happens, a child who has been pampered and spoiled and all, that one sees that a newcomer is coming and all the attention for me will be reduced and I will be nowhere. All these kind of negative feelings can come into the older child. But whereas when you prepare a child for its coming, that will welcome and everybody in the family, and this including this elder child, will all be prepared for the arrival of a VIP. It's a VVIP, in fact, sent by God to be cared for by you, by the mother and by father, by the family, to achieve great things in this world, destined for great things in this world. Simply for nothing, nobody comes in this world. God has a purpose for everyone. So it is a VVIP who is coming, whether a boy or a girl, as sent by God to fulfill his mission, his designs, and for the welfare, the joy, and the happiness of the family. So all these things have to be kept in mind. Now, I don't know, I have not spoken very elaborately. I think I just took a few points only. Now, I can ask them to ask for any question if they want.
Yeah.
This is enough now, no? Input to this much is enough, sufficient.
Yeah, let them ask some questions and doubts.
Yeah. Now you are welcome to ask me any questions if you want. If you want me to speak about anything more in particular, tell me. Otherwise, if you have any questions to ask me, if I know the answer, I shall give. If I don't know, I will say I am sorry, I don't know. Take your time, no problem.
Ma'am, this transgenders is born, nowadays. It's we can see a lot of there than before. Nowadays, it's there. Now the number of transgenders are more. I think. Otherwise, we are knowing more about them now. Only that I don't know. Anyhow, we are knowing, but there is any criteria in this. I mean, the husband-wife relation. It's happening because of this husband-wife relation. I mean, the born of these transgenders. There is any criteria there? Hope you understand. Ma'am, these transgenders are.
Tell her to repeat it.
Could you repeat that question once again?
Yes, ma'am. These transgenders are nowadays we can see more transgenders. No, ma'am. I am talking.
Yeah. I understood.
Yeah.
So
why it is happening that
that is usually when the number of chromosomes in each sperm and the ovum, when they are defective or when they have 24, like, there are certain number and all that. When there is some fault in that is the time there will be fetal developmental defects. Sometimes you see one organ missing, or Siamese twins.
Yes.
Lot of things are there. So it is mainly because of the chromosomes and their union and what happens in their union at that time during fertilization. And nowadays there are more.
Yes.
You say that there was always there. Only thing is nowadays people are coming out more openly.
That's why maybe okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, they used to hide, and they would take it as a disgrace, or somebody nobody else should know. All these things were there, but nowadays people are very free to open up, and then now society is more easily accepting them.
Okay.
That is the
Because
main
there,
thing.
I think the same these persons were there before also. Now only we are knowing
Yeah.
more about.
Yeah, correct. You're right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Just give me an answer. What I have spoken, did it help you in any way? Was it in any way an informative talk? Did you come to know anything more by listening to me? Did it help you? Can you just tell me that?
Yes, ma'am, definitely
Of course, ma'am. It was really very helpful.
informative.
Informative also. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So if you have any more questions, you say. Or if you want me to speak anything more about any particular thing which we have spoken, or any other thing which I have not included, something you can tell me. Always remember this word. A child doesn't come by chance. A child has to come by choice. Right?
I cannot hear them. I'm in answer class.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you will remember.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah.
Let them ask in Malayalam also if they need.
Yeah. In case if you want to ask any question in Malayalam, and if some technical word I may not know, if I know, I'll answer. Otherwise, I'll tell you I don't know. You know, when people have no questions, two things are possible.
Yes,
One
ma'am.
is that you have understood everything,
And
or
the other way.
you have
The first
understood
one,
nothing.
the first one we can consider, ma'am. Definitely we understood whatever you taught. Whatever things you told, we understood, ma'am. Actually, it was really effective.
Thank you. Because see, when I take class, not only here, even otherwise also, I speak very slowly so that the students can really understand what I am talking. Oh, if I go on speaking very fast, then you know what I am saying, then you will not know.
Nobody had no questions.
Beg your pardon?
No, ma'am. I'm asking them. Nobody have questions.
Now it is 3:15.
No, 4:15.
Acha, 4:15.
Okay, dear students, if you have any doubts, you can clear now. I mean, the development happening in the womb also, you can ask.
I had made a chart. Where is it? See, last time when I spoke to you, I had mentioned something about choosing a boy or a girl certain time of the period, certain time of the month, menstrual cycle. So that is a long topic. We may not be able to finish anything, but regarding that, if you have any question based on what I spoke that day or something, you are welcome to ask me. Otherwise, usually what happens, there are three cycles in this, three elements. First, you have the menses, day 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Usually for people, 3 to 5 days of menstrual flow. Then after that, they feel all dry, the dry days. And then again, you start feeling a kind of wet sensation beginning, and after 2 or 3 days, you will find a kind of mucus. Mucus, you know, no? I suppose you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Mucus coming, and that mucus, initially it is thick, then it becomes thinner, and finally it will become like the white of the egg. When an egg is broken, that white of the egg, you know, clear, tenacious look it has. You take on the finger and it just hangs like that, exactly like the white of the egg. Now, that is the day of ovulation. That will be the day of ovulation. Now, that is nature's way of lubricating. Lubricating means making it soft and lubricating the vagina to prepare for the marital relationship between husband and wife. And during, now before that, let me also tell you, before I further go on to this, the ovum can live from 12 to 24 hours in the mother's fallopian tube. As soon as the ovum is released from the ovary, the fallopian tubes, like finger-like projections it has, it will catch the ovum. By propelling it through the fallopian tube, it will bring, and usually it will either die, or if it's a married woman and had relationship with the husband, around that time the sperm will be traveling, that is in millions they'll be traveling, and some will go to this fallopian tube right and left like that, and suppose as the sperm moves, that meets the first sperm which meets the ovum will fertilize that ovum. So if it is after 24 to 48 hours, there will be no ovum and conception cannot take place. Whereas, suppose on the 14th of a month, the ovulation takes place, and if a woman has had relationship, say on the 10th or 11th, the sperm in the woman can live up to 4 days. Up to 4 days. This mucus helps in the survival also of the sperm. But by the time it weakens and it dies, and if it is, and the male sperm is faster, and the sperm has got a longer tail. It goes faster, thinner body, whereas the ovum with the female XX chromosome is more round in shape, fatter, and more slow in movement. Therefore, they don't last for too long, usually by 24 hours, but there have been cases reported that it lived longer, but not maybe for another 12 years, but not more than that, 12 hours. But whereas the sperm can survive clearly and healthily up to 3 days, and there have been cases living up to 5 days. So this, suppose if a woman had marital relationship with the husband on the 10th and the ovulation takes place on the 14th, probably by the 14th, after that, if she did not have any more union, all the sperms could have been lost if they had only once that. But otherwise, again, if it goes repeatedly, if they have marital relationship, the first sperms which was there, that would have died off maybe on the 2nd or 3rd day when they have their relationship. The ovum would have reached, and by the time the sperm comes, the ovum which reached there would be the female chromosome ovum, the sperm will fertilize that, and a female child is most likely to be born. But if there are people who really want to have a baby boy, then after the menstruation, observe your body and the functioning of the body, maybe for 1 month or 2 months, and abstain from relationship until 4 days or 3 days after the ovulation. By the time the ovum will die, then till the beginning of the next menses, there is no chance of conception because there is no ovum. It's only once a month, one ovum only comes, and that one lives only for at the most for 2 days, and during that time, if the sperm meets the ovum, only the pregnancy can take place. So maybe a woman who has got 28 days of a period from first day of menses till the previous day, beginning of the next menses. Suppose on the first of the month there was the period started, and then by 4th or so it ended, and by the 29th or 30th of the following month the new menses will begin. So 14 days counting backward from that, you can more or less fix the date of ovulation. But the best thing is, this is known as mucus method, that fertilized the mucus, that fertile mucus it is called, that egg white kind of mucus, it is known as fertile mucus. Until the arrival of that fertile mucus, if you can really observe your periods and your menstrual cycle from day 1 to the last for 1 or 2 months, more or less you will be able to see how many days your menstrual cycle lasts. If it is regular, it is very easy for you to calculate this and and detect the day of ovulation. in some people, there is a, a jab, just as though somebody is giving you a stab. You can feel that in the ovarian side. Maybe 1 month it's on the right, next month it may be on the left. It's not always, but in some cases they do feel it. They can. And then if the first sperm which meets the ovum at that time, because after the union, the male sperms will travel fast and will meet the ovum first. Then the chances, 90% chances or even more, that the woman will have a baby boy. So immediately, and when they want to have a baby boy, until you begin to see the beginning of the fertile mucus, people should abstain. They should not have relationship if you are aiming to have a baby boy. Have union only when the fertile mucus starts. Then the chances of having a baby boy is almost sure. And that is one method that is known as the mucus method. And another one is symptothermic method. Mucus and thermic. Thermic means temperature, both combined. Because usually the first month you should check your temperature every day for some, say 1 month or 2, and then you will see just around suppose the temperature is about 97, 97.2, 97, like that. And just around the ovulation, the temperature will go up, maybe 1 degree or at least 6 to 8 points to 1 degree, it will go higher. So if it is 97 normally, on the day of ovulation, it can go to 98 or 98.2 or something like that. So then the thermic method, you keep charting it. You can chart and see, you keep a record for that. Those who are particular about having a baby boy or a girl, whatever it is, for them, this is the best method. Very, very likely you will have a baby boy if they want to have a baby boy. Suppose if you don't want to have a baby boy, you want to have a baby girl, then say 2 or at least 3 days before the ovulation, you will have studied your period and your symptoms and all that by observing a few months. And then you know exactly more or less when is the ovulation going to take place. Suppose if the ovulation is going to take place on the 14th, then you have a relationship maybe on the 12th. So if it is on the 12th, in 1 month you try that, then by the time 13th and 14th the ovulation takes place, all the male sperms would have already finished, because they go faster, and when they come there is no ovum to fertilize, so they finish up by itself. But the female chromosome ovum, sperm, which comes, that one goes slower, not as fast as the sperm. Then when it meets the ovum, the likelihood of having a baby girl is much more than having a baby boy. Because usually the male sperms will not last too long. It doesn't live more than 24 hours is what they say. This is known as symptothermic method. The first method is mucus method. That's both need observation, self-observation. And then along with that, you need the consent of the husband to work together in this particular way of going about. Little complicated.
Because if you are showing that chart, it will be easy for
No,
them.
no,
No, it will be
nothing. This will be too small.
Was it clear for you?
Yes.
No. See, for the sake of saying yes, don't say. I know it. I know it is not very clear
I
because
have some idea and I have some doubt of that. Now it is clear.
Bindu was saying if you could have shown the chart, but you know I got the chart here, but you cannot see anything in that.
Yeah, they can see.
But just unless I explain, they won't know. No?
That they have to go, what is the, which day is ovulation day? Then only the doubt will be clear.
Yeah, from there it is clear. This is the day 1, day 2, day 3. Yeah.
See, up to
After
here, it is 28. Here, 28. 28 days. This line I put. This is for the mucus method. This side. The other one is the symptothermic method. This side.
you can see.
So then, see here I have shown a red line, isn't it? Here.
Yes.
That is showing the day of menses. 4 days. Then afterwards, dry days. I have written D there. Yeah. 3, 4 dry days. Then starts first thick mucus. Like when we clean the nose, sometimes it comes onto the finger and you can just do like that. So that becomes thick mucus, and then slowly it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, and then it becomes very thin like the white of the egg. So that is the day of ovulation. So that is what I have written here, O, ovulation day. After ovulation, 1, 2, 3, 4. That many days, if you remain apart, then the chances of having to have a baby boy, the meeting should be here. 24 hours, 12 hours to 24 hours before the ovulation. The female sperms will not remain too long. By the time they crawl and come, the male sperm will have already come and fertilized the ovum. Then you get a baby boy. And if you want to have a baby girl, then you have, say, 3 days before the ovulation, then have meeting, and then abstain so that the sperms which will produce the boy child will have been finished. Then the female chromosomes of that ovum will come, and the sperm will come and meet the ovum, and the chances of a baby girl is much more. I didn't know that, otherwise you could have made on a big chart, you know. Anyway. And here I have shown in this one here, green. These are red as they are dangerous days. That means conception will take place. And those who don't want to have children, then follow this only. Then you can avoid without abortion and all that. And this is green. I put the green color here. These are safe days. After the ovulation, 3 days, 4 days is finished. Then these are all safe days for the couple not to have child. May not have seen much.
Okay, are you having any doubts?
Too complicated.
Otherwise, we can wind.
എന്താ പറയേണ്ടതെന്ന് അറിയത്തില്ല.
Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Sure.
Ma'am, during this pregnancy period now.
കേൾക്കത്തില്ല.
Hello? Can you hear?
No. What happened?
I don't know.
Hello?
Ma'am, we can hear Aradhana, ma'am.
Now it's better.
Yeah, I continue.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. We have to talk about the prenatal care now. During that period's time, I think during that period's time, that like pregnancy period, also some couples are doing a sexual relation, right? Then I think someone is not bothered about which time they have to go to sexual relation in that time. During that pregnancy period time, someone is going to have these relations and all. I think this is good or bad. Pregnant woman or is any affected to that child if in a time. I think I have some doubts for that. I think some of the couples also doing right. I think is any good or bad in a pregnant woman, ma'am? That during period of that pregnancy time, they are going to sexual relation now. I think the 3 months and like 6 months, like the I think someone also going to like that 8 months also someone is going to do that relation. I think problem is coming that time.
Yeah. The early months of pregnancy, it is much better to avoid sexual relationship, at least for about 24 weeks. And then the last 2 months, also it will be good to avoid, because that is going to give much more stress to the woman.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah. Initial months, especially early pregnancy, that emotional excitement, all that can affect and it can end up in abortion.
Yeah. Okay. I think that during that pregnancy period, we don't do like this relations and all. And yes, ma'am.
That is the best for both, for husband as well as for the wife. The best is they make that sacrifice, and it will be helpful for the health of the mother, and the support given by the husband also will psychologically, it will be a booster. There are many, I know There are many couple of course they share very freely with me sometimes, Therefore, I can tell you there are people who have been abstaining all throughout, because they say it is more important. Each one will give importance to the other, especially the husband will give importance to the mother, the wife, and the baby to be born. So it is a momentary satisfaction which they want to avoid and support the wife and the forthcoming baby. That would be the ideal if they can.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I think some husbands are don't understand. I think don't know bothered about this. What are the changes occurring that time in a woman? Some men don't know anything. They are not bothered about this pregnancy period.
Yeah,
also.
it is. It's quite true.
Yeah. Someone is. I think I know some people like that. I think that's why I'm asking this. I think we want to give the teach to the husbands also. This pregnancy period, what all are the care one to that month. I think this one we want to teach them also. I think that is a very good for the mothers help and the baby and the babies help also.
See, many years ago means maybe about 20-25 years ago, when I was engaged in social work outside, we had the Mother and Child Health Program, MCH program. So what I changed that into FMCH, Father, Mother, Child Health Program. So I used to make sure that first we have a meeting with the fathers. We had about 700 mothers, which would mean about 700 fathers. So on one Saturday, I would have the meeting with this. Of course, area-wise, we would collect, say, about 40, 50 at a time, Then all this information, these are very illiterate tribal people used to be. We used to impart information to many of them. Some of them used to follow, others, they wouldn't bother at all. But at least our duty it is to give information regarding this. If they follow it up, well and good for them. If they don't, it is up to them.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Anything more you need to ask?
You don't need to feel shy, huh?
Otherwise, we can wind up the class.
Yeah.
Okay, wind up.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, all. I consider this occasion as an honor and privilege to extend a vote of thanks. Myself, Tinsy. On behalf of the entire batch and students, I would like to thank our respected Chief Guest, Sister Jayashree, for taking her precious time and consenting to be as a chief guest. Ma'am, your words are so informative and touching. We inspired us a lot. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thanks a lot. This session was very informative. Thank you so much. Then I would like to thank our beloved faculty, Bindu ma'am. Thanks for arranging this wonderful webinar, ma'am. It's it was very informative, and we all cleared all the doubts about this topic. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you.
Also, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our faculties, Niranjana ma'am and Praveena ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for joining with us, ma'am. Thank you. Then last but not least, my dear friends, thanks for the cooperation and thanks for the wonderful performance we had today. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.